Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. I need you guys to smash that like button to continue this melody series. Today I'm going to use native instrument stuff only. So we're going to use Contact. I only use Contact from Native Instruments. They have Massive, but I don't use the new Massive, but we might use Massive to make a melody. So let's use the Contact libraries here. Some of these are third party, but most of them are Native Instruments. Let's go India first. Let's do melodic. And let's start with just the first instrument. Now, what most people don't realize is you have to turn off the scale lock. So let's go to scale, switch us back to chromatic so that we have all the notes. That was a dope melody. That was kind of fire. So dun, 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 dun. Let's find those notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was something like that. So really that's D minor 7th. Funny enough. So we need to make these notes short. Now the notes aren't short enough. Okay, so one thing about listening to your brain is knowing the articulations of sound. And that's how it sounds in my head. I don't know if this thing has phrases. Let me check out key switches and any modulation we have. So the mod wheel controls ornaments. Let's see what that means. I don't hear any difference in the sound. Let's play a long note though. I'm not hearing what it's doing to the sound. I'm not hearing any change. Let's do key mode. Ornaments are on, so I don't hear the ornaments, whatever that is. All right, so this doesn't have any key switches from what I see. So pretty simple. It's just using that mod wheel. And let's just let it ride. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, riding out. Let's see what we can build with that. And now let's clone another Contact. And let's add another instrument here. Let's do, since it's more lightweight sounding, let's try. What else do we have in here? Now I have some Spitfire stuff. I don't know how long it takes to load that stuff. So let's load some Emu Proteus. I bought this from DSF, Digital Sound Factory, some time ago. I like their Proteus sounds. Let's try these. Let's add some kind of bass to start here. Sometimes it's just about having the right sounds. I'm doing the higher notes so I could hear the notes. Then we'll do the perfect fifth, 7 notes away. That's trecio, so it's 1, 2, 3, si. And then we didn't finish the trecio. Then we could do the half step. Okay, so now we're just creating a groove. Now let's add the middle layer, which is the chords. Now this is a more happy sounding melody. I didn't plan on it sounding happy. Let's see what else we could find in here. Let's do the free orchestra 2 from Project Sam. This is a really good library. It loads up with what's called Contact Player, which is completely free. So these strings are really, so they've updated the whole thing here. Let's try Film Noir. I don't even know what this is. Oh, that's fire. Okay, so this is like some horn. How'd I get that note before? So you have to play really heavy velocity. So now we're just going through textures. The biggest problem I see people have with melody is not that they don't know how to make melody. Darn, dropped my phone. It's not that they don't know how to make melodies, it's that they don't know how to make the melodies sound interesting. So that's what we're doing. We're finding interesting sounds, interesting articulations, using the mod wheel key switches to add a realism to the sound. That's what people are missing. Now again, it still sounds happy, so let's start separating the sounds here. Let's hit Control L, send stuff to the mixer. Now I'm going to try to make sounds feel darker. Okay, here's where I'm going to start using some sorcery here with some plugins. I rarely touch plugins until the last step. Let's slow down the flute though. Let's run it through Transporter so now we can make it more granular sounding. Add some more particles in here. Okay, now we're getting into like texture mode here. Now chances are the bass is not going to change much, so that's going to stay. Let's see what other chords we can add with this noir sound here. So let's play a lower velocity here so we can trigger the chord. So G major feels too happy. Alright, so we got to change some of these notes in the flute just so they're not too low. Let's duplicate this note. So now we're hearing everything through halftime. We can get a little more weird with the let's swap out the bass. It's a little too like dull sounding. Okay, so you guys see how we're morphing sound based on like the context of everything. It's a weird bass. Let's just leave the bass there, that weird sound. Let's see if we can, what we can do to this string sound. I'm gonna run it through a couple plugins here by Kilohertz. Let's start with Bit Crush. Now we're not gonna use it for the 8-bit sound. We're gonna actually right click, go to bits, type in 12. Turn up the quality here so it's more of a low pass filter. And just shave off some of the brightness of that horn. Let's add some, here we're just getting weird in sound design. Let's add some phase offset. Let's add some hyper chorus. So now we gotta blend all these weird ideas together. I think the ding 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 is a little specific for the sound, so let's take that sound out of it. And now let's start thinking up these chords. Let's take the root notes, pull them up an octave. And let's try one more. Actually, yeah, let's take the third, pull it up an octave. Okay, so now we're starting to get into dark territory. Now I'm pulling up the flute just to get a weirder sound. And we can turn down the dry level, which is the half speed sound. So that we're left with just the particle. We could add delay and reverb to make that longer, but let's just leave it as is for now. So now we need some kind of bass. I'm trying to think what plugin has bass. Let's do Xenology. And I'll show you guys my ultimate trick, but first we need just like a resonant bass here. Let's swap out that bass because the bass from the Contact was just too specific to that time era. So let's use a resonance bass instead. Oh, this thing is muted. I was like, why don't we hear it? Okay. When it comes to melody making, I debate about adding bass. Some people add bass, some people don't. I really don't like when bass is in a sample because then I have to take it out. So this is just for demonstration purposes to add bass here. Okay, so the music is a little repetitive because we're at 140 and really 4 bars is 2 bars. So this is only a 2-bar section. Let's clone this over. Let's try to switch some of the chords up. I'm not going to get too deep with the music theory. It's going to go by ear. Let's hit Control G to group these. So now let's go inside our chords and switch something up so that it doesn't feel the same all the way through. Do one thing too, and the sound itself. Let's actually swap out the sound because we have so many effects now. Let's hear what it sounds like if we just switch the actual sound. Let me see how to pull up the sound. How do we change the sound here? Let's see. X, click here. Okay, so let's try different ones like haunted horns. Let's try these. That's a little too cinematic sounding, very specific. Let's actually not do that one. Let's do harp. We have harp, strings, and we have bold legato brass. Let's try those. I don't know, or warm ensemble. Start getting a little weird with the effects here. Now we're creating more of a sound effect. Now let's automate that effect. So now we have more of a moving texture, but it's still in that same vein of what it was trying to do in the beginning of the beat. Let me show you guys my final move here. Let's combine all these. Control G, go to the left side on the pattern picker area, right click, and let's transpose this down 3, up 3. So negative values go down, positive values go up. Let's fix that last chord though. It's gonna bother me till we fix it. Actually sounded cooler without the chord there. So that's one area we just pitched it down. Let's try pitching it back up to +3 from where we started. I feel like the sound textures don't match in that area, so I liked it where it was -3. Now the last thing is you could print this to audio and then go to the mode and then go to resample mode, switch it to stretch mode, switch it back to resample mode, and then change the tempo. For this beat, we're not gonna mess with it, but that's what you guys could do, and then mess with the tempo, and it will create a unique sound. Let's play one more time. Now for this beat, I probably changed some of the bass notes so it's more rapid. Okay, so it does need some transient material and some changes over time, but that's the basic formula, how to make melodies with native instrument stuff. Pretty cool stuff once you use the automation. If you want to learn more how to make beats like the pros and make melodies in music theory, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. Peace out, guys. Subscribe if you're new.